That's how I hustle. I just be flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing like I'm on shuffle.
What's up, Pensacola, man? We appreciate y'all for checking in to the G Spot podcast this Thursday. Actually, we doing a switch up. This is the G Spot show. The podcast is a whole nother platform. I got to start separating the two. We got a new guest, special guest in the building. My boy Preech. We got a first time here for the G Spot podcast, bro. I appreciate you for coming in with us this week.
Yes, sir.
How your week been going?
For having me. We've been busy, man. Busy, man. Running. You know, I'm promoting events that I got coming up, and you know, working, going to school. It's a lot to juggle, you know, family. But you know, I give thanks for it all. You know, I appreciate everything because I could not have nothing going on. So,
yeah, man. It definitely is, man. I'm trying to balance final week for exams, balance this whole thing with school. It take a lot, man, especially when you haven't been in school for a while and you decide to go back.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. It's probably been 15 years. I first went in 2009.
Yeah.
And then I tried it again 2014, 15.
Yeah.
And it's my third time actually.
Really?
I just started in May.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was the same for me. 2009 since high school. 2010 while I was in the military, I tried to do a little something, come back, and I'm just like, nah, I had a lot of stuff going on. And this February, I decided to just go ahead and start it back.
Yeah, it was February for me. I'm talking about May. In May.
Yeah, we in May.
No, it was February when I went back.
Yeah.
I'm taking classes fully online, but still.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. It takes a lot of discipline with taking them online, man, especially at the age we are now.
Yeah.
When we like really adulting right now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then we got outside projects to go on. It does take a lot of work. And so shout out to everybody. Shout out to my girl Mercedes, man. This weekend she is graduating. I know she is happy as hell. And if you haven't already, man, make sure y'all download the RWR Live 365 app where you can listen to this show and other good shows and good music all day long. And make sure y'all share. Subscribe. Catch me on YouTube and all that good jazz. First, man, I want to definitely give a shout out to my homeboy Stoney Murphy. He got an event coming up this weekend. I was going to play this video for y'all, man. I'm going to go ahead and still play it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but y'all definitely will see the information on the G Spot podcast page, on the RWR page, and also on my personal page. Make sure y'all check that out May 25th at the Black Cafe and Bookstore. Make sure y'all check out the Black Cafe and Bookstore Monday through Friday. We open to 6 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, man. So you got a lot of stuff going on, man. I know you originally from doing poetry, but I know only are you into poetry, you into the music, man. You got a couple of events coming up. You also got a book now. So I kind of want to touch on that book first because I like to read. Okay. So your book, man, 100 Tools and Resources to Boost Your Brand, man. What motivated you to create that?
Well, being an entrepreneur myself, when I first started out, I didn't really have no guide for real. You know, it was books and stuff out there, but I just kind of felt like I wanted to create my own version of a guide for people going into a business. Because I think about people getting out of prison.
Yeah.
You know, I think about people with not much education or people who don't know much about computers. And it's the type of book literally a person can come out fresh out of prison with that book, man, and look through it and they get, you know, they might not know everything it is to know about going into business, but it pretty much just covers the basics. So, you know, it's just my way of creating a basic guide for people, and so it includes all type of information from business consultants to information about marketing and different things like that.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to invest in more books. One thing I can say, since COVID, we see a large number of Black entrepreneurs coming up. And I think a lot of times we for a lot of people who want to get into entrepreneurship, you kind of hold on to that fear of what could go wrong. And one thing I do know from starting a business, from even just starting this show, is that things are going to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you learn. Definitely, I always recommend people to read, and it doesn't have to necessarily always be things that pertaining to the business that you're trying to get into. And find you a business coach. I know one thing for me.
I got a chapter specifically for coaches and consultants, people I know personally.
Yeah.
That gave me permission to list their information in the book.
Oh man, I definitely got to get that then, because I got an uncle. You know, a lot of times we get into it, we try to find, go through things ourselves to see what can we do ourselves with our knowledge and little things that we read up on. And it took me last year finally, we're just sitting down having a conversation with my uncle about certain things, because he's an investor in business. And I realized I needed, and watching Coach Stormy. Now, a lot of people might not care for Coach Stormy, but I will say sometimes she has some pretty good pointers on that. And that's one thing she pointed out, is that we need business coaches. When you're coming into a business, it's always best to consult with or hang around people who have already made it to where you're trying to be. So that's very important, man. The business coach, to find somebody, get under somebody's wing who you can trust to help lead you, the right way. Not saying you got to be under them all the time, but at least make it to the next step.
I created a Facebook group where I pretty much brought, the different coaches and consultants that I know together. It's still growing, it's not as active as I would like it to be, but it's still there. It's called Tips, Tools, and Resources for Entrepreneurs. So we have the tips, tools, and resources for entrepreneurs, and you'll see, different coaches and consultants that probably come through there posting about the things that they got going on. Oftentimes they offer free stuff. That's one thing that kind of deters people. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's like therapy.
Yeah.
It's like going, you're paying for a professional service.
Yeah.
But anybody that's serious in themselves, I would think they would be willing to invest in themselves in whatever way possible. So, yeah, definitely want to check out that group if you get a chance.
What's that group name again?
Tips, Tools, and Resources to Boost Your... Oh, that's the group. That's the book. Boy, I got so much going on. The book, that's the book. The group is Tips, Tools, and Resources for Entrepreneurs. I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
It's been a while since, but I haven't been creating. It's like my little baby of mine.
Yeah.
I'm working on building on, but it's like I said, it's there for anybody that's interested in fun.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out, man, because I try to put my hands in so many different things now. My main focus now is anything that I do, I try to make it effective for the community. Because a lot of people, sometimes they pull out of the community, but they ain't putting back into it like they're supposed to. But I can't be the only one eating, because I ain't gonna be here forever. So whatever I could do, put that information out there or share some type of information to help anybody grow in any type of aspect, I feel like that's what I try to do. But it definitely starts with educating myself first. So I've gotten in, like I said, the last couple of years, especially gotten into reading different things and kind of just changing my mindset. How they had that old saying with if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. And I think a lot of people look at it as a joke, but man, that's true, because a lot of us don't read. So we need books. We need Black authors coming out doing stuff like that. So when it comes to the book, when are you planning to release it?
I published it, self-published it, back in 2000 and what were we in 24?
Yeah.
It had to be, I went to Houston in 26. I think it was 2018. It's been a minute, man.
Okay.
I think I published it in 2018.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I published the book in 2018 or 2019.
Okay.
2020, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I hardly ever know what day of the week it is. Or
I think that's our list.
But if I not think about it, it might have been 2020.
Okay.
I self-published it on Amazon, so it's been available on there for a while. I just, I'm a humble person, man. I'm quiet about it. I don't really like a lot of attention for real. So
yeah.
I got to get out of that and start, talking a lot more about, about the book. And so, yeah, I published it a while ago. And one thing I can say that inspired me to do it, when I was 18, I had got my hands on this investment book. You know what I'm saying? And it, at a young age, it did a lot for me as far as learning about certificate of deposit accounts and money market accounts, savings accounts, annual percentage yields, different things like that. And I just, I wanted to create my own guide for people.
Yeah.
Just like I had somewhat of a guide. I didn't have, as much other than that book, but, I just wanted to introduce different ways people could utilize different tools. That's why I said I wanted to shoot big, man. So it's called 100 Tools and Resources to Boost Your Brand, because there are 100 different things in there that you can use in one way or another to build your business.
Yeah, man. And if y'all haven't, man, gotten the book already, y'all could definitely find the book. You'll see it on the G Spot Podcast page, and I'll post a link too, so y'all can go straight to the book. Man, so with your music, we was just listening. I hope that y'all heard the first part of the Pan-Africanism. Now, if y'all know me, y'all know how I feel when it comes to black folk. I'm always all in with your music, man, which is, I guess, another form of poetry. What motivates you with that?
Well, I mean, growing up as early as 6th grade,
Mm.
I was writing music and poetry.
Mm.
I started off more so with the music, and then when I got in high school, I started dabbling a little bit with the poetry. And I had this girlfriend in 6th grade. I wrote a song for her, and it was crazy. Like, it kind of got a little popular. Me and a guy almost fell out behind it because he took it and put his girlfriend's name in it.
Oh, for
presented it to her as if it was his. And it was stuff like that that kind of made me think, like, man, I might actually have something for
Yeah.
me. And then I got in high school, and I had a crush on this girl then, and I wrote her poems. First time I wrote a girl a poem, and she really liked it. And so, you know, from the age of like 12, 13 years old, I had a song folder, you know, I was just writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got older, and I just decided to take it, you know, more seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us brothers, I got caught up in some stuff that made it hard for me to qualify for certain jobs and whatnot. And so I had to figure something out. I didn't want to just sit around. You know, I'm back working, you know, a regular 9 to 5 now and whatnot. But at the time, it was so hard because my case was, you know, real fresh and whatnot. So I was really soul searching. That's really what made me take it more serious, man. I just started soul searching. I was like, well, what am I here for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had lost my daughter. My daughter passed before she turned 2 years old. The job that I had at the time, I had lost, and I was just starting to feel lost. And, you know, I resorted to writing to find my way again.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, it's funny as you say that, because I think I was just having a conversation earlier with somebody when it comes to mental health with Black men. There's a lot of stuff that we find ourselves into because as Black men, I'm a firm believer that not only are we judged by what society feels about us without even knowing us, but we are also put into a situation sometimes because of what our own community feel like we should be. You know, as a Black man, you should walk a certain type of way, you should talk a certain type of way, you should be into certain type of things. Your finance should be a certain type of way in order to be considered a man. And, you know, a lot of times people do not understand, you know, what we go through mentally because we don't have those ways of, or sometimes we don't have those safe spaces to kind of voice, you know, how we feel or the things that we've encountered. Because even with me, you know, I've been in situations before where I thought like, oh shit, this is going to mess me up. You know what I'm saying? I might not qualify for this job because of XYZ. But I had to realize, man, sometimes using your gift will make ways for you, you know, and you have to pull yourself out of feeling that society validates who you are, you know. And we seeing that now, man. I'm pretty sure you've seen on social media. We got the Black King's Crown Award ceremony going on, and a lot of people been going back and forth about it. You know,
I haven't seen as much, but I seen it look like it's a little bit, you know, some country behind it. But I mean, what he's doing is important. I can appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what a lot of us Black men don't get.
Yeah.
We don't get recognized. You know what I mean? Like, just like we don't really feel like we had that safe space to talk about certain things we're going through. A lot of us, you know, we don't get recognized when we're doing something.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times it's almost like you got to jump through hurdles and do backflips to even be recognized. And it's like a lot of those small wins that we have, it's just us. Those small wins up until we get that big win, and now all of a sudden everybody's recognizing us, and you know. So what you know is it's a guy I voted for. I don't speak on who, you know what I'm saying. I could tell he really was real happy about it because he don't get recognized. Like, and I even told him today when I saw him, I said, "Right, you know, I voted for you." You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. You can tell, you know, he really appreciate that because the bro go hard, but he don't get recognized.
Yeah, you know, I'm very appreciative. Last year I won Podcast of the Year. I'm very appreciative, Greg, like you said, because we don't get the recognition sometimes, especially as men. So what he's doing is good work. Shout out to Greg for that. And for the people who feel some type of way because they didn't make the vote or your family member does not make the vote, like I look at it as don't let other people validate who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't get the recognition then does not make your work or your talent less valuable.
No. It makes you want to go that much harder.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I ain't get this shit, bitch. I get to the next shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Keep the attitude, man. It won't even matter what the result is, because the hard work gonna pay off.
It's gonna pay off. And even if you don't win, just them bringing up your name in the room, it's gonna light that light bulb for some people to, try to figure out who you are. So, I definitely, I know a lot of people was hitting me up with stuff, and I was like, I'm not offended by nothing. I'm appreciative that I won the first one. You know what I'm saying? And congratulations to everybody else who ran it up. So I'm cool on it. I feel like we have a lot of talent in our city. And as far as you, I know we talked about earlier with you, moving to different areas. What is one thing that you saw different, especially working with music, moving to different states and working with different people compared to, this city?
People were a lot more confident in themselves and their ability. Now, mind you, granted, these were people coming from all over the place.
Right.
So, like, even when I was in Atlanta, like, it was a lot of people from North Carolina. You got people from, somewhere everywhere, all over the place, from Florida, like myself. And it's like, it just happened to be a place where a lot of people, come and do things. So I can't say, it was a lot more, people had a lot more confidence in them. So, but at the same time, it's a lot of competition too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of greedy going on, a lot of grimy stuff, whatnot. So, but I can't say I appreciated being able to be around so many different like creative people, you know what I mean? Like people were there's always something going on. Like vending was a big thing where it's like as a vendor you could literally vend and you don't even have to like really work because it was so many opportunities and so much money flowing around that you could just set up shop 2 or 3 days out of the week, or you know what I'm saying, and make so much and do good and whatnot. But I'm back home because I started to feel homesick, man, and just all of that. It's nice and all to be getting recognition. I went to Atlanta and like, it was like I had already been there. After a couple of years, I had started making a name for myself and all. But I feel like that. What am I trying to say? Pensacola is not incapable of creating, bringing some of the same energy or having some of the same, vibe here as far as the festivals and the different events and whatnot. It's a lot of culture too. I'm glad that we got around to celebrating Juneteenth because I remember when I first got to Atlanta in 2015, they had already been doing Juneteenth for a few years and whatnot. And so I was glad to see, that come, to Pensacola as far as having some culture. And that's what I want to do as a person from Pensacola, having been in places like Atlanta, being in places like Houston and different places that I've been and seeing, things going on. I want to, be a part of the growing the community and bringing the culture here to Pensacola.
Yeah. And I remember one time last year, it was a woman posted on Facebook that Pensacola didn't have culture, and a lot of people was pissed off with her about it. And I had to agree to a certain extent because, like you said, when you go to those bigger cities, when you go to Atlanta, when you go to Houston, I fell in love with Houston after 2 days. When you go to even New Orleans, everybody know how I feel about New Orleans. You see how strong Black culture is on multiple levels. And that's more than not just a certain type of music, and not just from having parties with different themes. Yes, when you get into the festivals and actually bringing tradition, African Black American tradition to the limelight and showing like we are more than just sports. We are more than just music. You know what I'm saying? So it is good that I remember when we did our first Juneteenth event a couple of years ago, we had a Juneteenth committee here reach out and was like, well, why nobody reached out to us? Honestly, let me tell you, until 2020, I think when we did our Juneteenth event, I did not hear nothing about nobody doing nothing for Juneteenth in Pensacola. Shout out to the people who were doing it, but at the time,
it was at the Woodland Heights Community Center. That had to be, I think that was in 2014 before I even left. I think she was I remember her name was older. I think she was the only one that I know of was doing, and it wasn't like this. I know it wasn't like really out there.
Yeah,
people really like in her circle. The woman ain't even on Facebook. If I'm not mistaken, she only got
social media.
Yeah, she had paid me to do a performance for a Juneteenth event there, and I thought that was pretty cool and whatnot. So the other thing too, man, is the politics for real. Like I made a post earlier on Facebook. Like that's what I was noticing when I was going to like Atlanta has had a black mayor for the past I don't know how many years, and that's because they're running for positions and there's people getting behind them to put them, you know, in those places. And that's really all. That's not all we need, but that's one thing we definitely need here is to be in places of power where we can make decisions or, you know, influence decisions.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I know one thing we push here at Room Radio is voting. And me personally, I feel like voting, I know a lot of people will say when it comes to the president, you know, it don't matter, or, you know, especially when it comes to the black community. Me personally, I have my own views on that, and it ain't far from y'all's when it comes to that. But I feel like when it comes to your local officials, it is very important to get out there and vote for the people that you want that's going to run your city. Because like you said, they are the people who allow certain things to happen within your city. We live in a city where white supremacy still exists. And it's a lot of old money that still runs the area. With that though, like you said, that we have people. I mean, shout out to DJ Hale. You know, we have people who are out there who are trying to push a different agenda when it comes to bringing more culture to our city. I mean, even with Willow, what he do every Friday nights downtown. I mean, that's a big deal for our city. You know what I'm saying? And then now even seeing since they brought it back, how many more people that come out there every Friday night waiting for that type of entertainment. When I posted on my Snapchat, I have a lot of friends from out of town. I have people from out of town and be like, you know, where you at? I wouldn't mind coming to something like that. We need that because every year we could go down to New Orleans and go to the Essence Festival. You know what I'm saying? We can go to Mobile and we can go to the Spring Fling every year. But we definitely need more things here to where people can say, oh, this is what the black people doing over there. You know?
That's going to attract people in. Right now is a really good time for that because, you know, Pensacola is changing a lot. Ways like the population probably about to go crazy. About to get 6 lanes on the highways. Something like that. I'm wondering, are we gonna be able to handle 6? That's man, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I remember when I was driving the 6, and I was doing Uber, some 8, 10, 12 hours a day. It's a lot, man. But I guess that's the trade-off, man. We'll have a lot of traffic, but it'd be a lot more going on, a lot more culture in the city, and I'm here for it. I'm all for it. Now the crime, not so much, but
and you know that I think that when you go into that, man, a lot of people who are moving here are people who from up north. A lot of business owners, and a lot of them are moving here because you know, you don't have to pay state taxes, and so it kind of helping to make more money with business. And that's why too, when you even see the new homes are being built, they're so close together. You know, from the south, we used to having land, we used to having yards. They don't care about that because they don't have it up north. You know, so I think with it is like I saw somebody post the other day on Facebook, was a lady from New York said that I guess they didn't really understand the attitudes of people in Pensacola. That we don't have the best attitudes here. I do feel like Pensacola is a different city compared to a lot of cities in the South, but I feel like, that's just a Southern thing, period. You have different type of Southern people. But when you come into a land, you come to an area they're being heavily gentrified, you're going to have people with different type of attitudes, you know, because you have people losing land, you have people losing property, because even thinking about 6-lane highway, like what are you going to have to tear down to build that? You know, I mean, think about, you know, even just outside of here, the interstate outside of here, I know people who lived in neighborhoods that was right where the interstate is right now, you know? Yeah. So, you know, to see that now, I think about stuff like that. Okay, well, I understand we're getting XYZ, but one thing, how is it going to be beneficial to our community? And who's going to have to lose something for us to get that? You know, so it's a lot to think. It's a lot to put in place when you think about stuff like that. We see it in Mobile. Mobile is a growing city. I love to go hang out in Mobile. I love to go hang out in Mobile. I'll be there this weekend here. And I got a show that I'm hosting over in Mobile. But I think Mobile is definitely a growing city, but Mobile is also a growing city because the number of blacks outweighs any other ethnicity in Mobile. So they bring in a lot of heat to the city. They even have one system to where each night a club is doing something. They have a schedule. Well, this night this club is doing this. The next night this club is doing this, and they all kind of support each other some type of way. You know, that's something we need here. But then again, it's like, well, how many clubs do we have here? You know what I'm saying? And who's bringing something different? Who's bringing like a little chill vibe that we could do XYZ? You know, I feel like Pensacola is definitely growing though, and it's things that are changing. A lot of people leaving, a lot of people coming in. So I'm actually I'm somewhat excited to see, you know, where we're gonna go, how we're gonna grow. as a city, man, because we got some creative people that's really coming in. Shout out to my boy again, Stoney Murphy, for the things that we have coming up. But even just with you doing poetry, and bring a more chill vibe, because we see the energy that's going on in our city. I mean, every time you turn around, somebody getting shot or something like that. How can we switch up that energy in our city? And
Definitely by like you said, just bringing in the culture and bringing in different things to do, man.
Yeah.
Because a lot about you just don't really have like as much guidance. Like we think about like sports, the general, stuff like that, or what's the rapping, music, or whatever the case may be. I do music and all, but it's just like I feel like we need more for young adults, especially, to be involved in ways that young adults could benefit from. You know what I mean? Like this radio station here is a big deal, because it creates opportunities, for people to host shows, people to come in and be interviewed for different things, and so like it's a lot more. It gives you something to be inspired by, and then they see, the young, they see us, they might, talk whatever they talk, but then they looking, they paying attention, you know what I'm saying? If they hear, they listening, and they still, we catch the right one and say, well, he can do it or she can do it, I can do it too. But if all they see is this and that, the negativity, that's what they're gonna cling to. That's what they, like. That's what's cool. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But if they see like Black people doing good from doing positive things, it make people more so want to do positive things. That's another thing I appreciate about Atlanta too. I can say you got like people out there doing it. It's a whole neighborhood messed me up, fucked me up so bad. I said, wait a minute. I went out and being here, you go to a neighborhood with these big houses, you're gonna assume, oh, these number white people out here. Mm-hmm. Man, this neighborhood number Black folks. Mm-hmm. I want to say it'd be like Cascade Road way, around that way. But yeah, man, just need more leaders in the community, man.
Definitely.
Step up, instead of us being, 30, 40 years old, like a lot of us are doing, still on the ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, take some accountability and say, man, it's time we grow up. I got so-and-so watching, I got my nephew, son, whatever the case may be, my daughter, whatever the case may be, so people just gotta step up, man. And we gotta get behind the people that are doing it. We can't just watch leaders go out and do it and we just sit back, like it takes. Marcus Garvey and the UNIA was a big movement because people would get behind him. Same with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, any other movement, Black Panther Party. They couldn't have did that, but they could have been hoorahing all day long. Nobody would have been getting out there with them. It would have never went.
I agree with you 100% on that, man. And I will say we definitely need accountability. I talk about that a lot on our shows, accountability when it comes to our own community. Man, I was in the military, and the things that I saw in the military, it had me pissed off with white people for a long time, man. And it's still a lot of things that go on that I don't like, of course, but there's a lot of things that we allow to happen and a lot of things that we do to ourselves. And like you said, we definitely have to change the dynamic in our community, start holding ourselves accountable for the things that we praise, for the lifestyles that we praise that are not killing. It has been doing it, really, killing our communities. And a lot of times that start with the music that we listen to, the stuff that we put out in the atmosphere. And people, a lot of times you'll be like, oh, well, when you get a certain age, the difference between right from wrong. You know how to decipher. But when you have a developing mind who don't know how to tell the difference between what's reality and what's not, you know what I'm saying? That creates a whole monster. And we have a lot of people who are now giving up on the youth and saying, oh, they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. You just can't talk to them, but we can't give up on it. Because a lot of you kids, sometimes that's all they want, somebody to talk to them, and because a lot of times we didn't have it. We see the joke all the time on social media when they be like, I told my mama I was depressed, and she said, depress them damn dishes, and it's like crazy because it was funny, but it was funny because it was real. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell your mama, you get up, somebody see your nerves, and you ain't got no nerves. A lot of times we don't understand the pressures that children have at a young age from just their peers, just from school. And God forbid you in a home where you're a latchkey kid with you a child, but you raising your siblings as well. And people don't understand mentally how that will change and how that affects a child. And a lot of times too in the Black community, we inherit a lot of things from ancestors who were still hurt. And we feel that, oh, well, I'm like this. I'm always been like this. My mama did it like this, but that don't make it right. So we definitely got to get out there and start getting the streets. And we have a lot of these big organizations, who we got the Masons, we have all of these uh fraternities and sororities who, a lot of them do work, but a lot of them could do more. That's one thing I can say. I don't care what y'all say about the Israelites. You see them out there in the streets. They out there doing what they're supposed to do. Me personally, I am a member of the New Black Panther Nation. And if y'all are looking to join, make sure we recruiting right now. So make sure y'all hit me up if y'all looking to join that. But no, I'm under Minister Quanell X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had joined myself in Mobile some years ago.
What you talking about, the Israelites or the?
No, it's NBPP.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just joined under Quanell X, out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I joined when I was out there too. As a matter of fact, that was right around the time I had wrote my book.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I didn't get to be as involved because I was so heavily focused. I had joined right when I was publishing my book, and so it's like I didn't get a chance to really connect with them like that because I was so focused on putting my book out. And by the time I had put my book out, I just had kind of like lost connection when I wasn't able to be in the meeting so much. Whatnot. But yeah, I forget the brother. That might be the brother I connected with. I forgot his name. It's been some years, but that's what's up.
Yeah, he got pretty good people, man. I really got on from watching Councilman Candace Matthews. I don't know if y'all follow her on social media, man, but she fire. With cowboy hat and cowboy boots all the time. And so she good at calling them out, calling out the local officials out when they bring in BS. And she kind of put me on game with them. Out of Houston. She's from Houston, Texas. And when I saw him recruiting, I just said, man, this is the type of stuff that I'm into. So let me go ahead and do it. And I'm appreciative of the party. A lot of times people think when they get into it, you got to be of the Nation of Islam. That is not true.
There was one brother here who, when I was in Houston, I reached out to him about starting a chapter in Pensacola, but he's since passed away. Can't remember his name exactly. He's a little older than me. He was like real down brother, man.
Yeah.
He passed away for some reason. I heard about it a while ago.
Yeah. We trying to bring it here, man. We trying to bring more awareness for our communities. And, I tell people all the time, being pro-Black does not mean you're anti anything else. But everybody else going to look out for their community. So it's time for us to look out for ours. So, definitely get involved in our community. Shout out to the Dream Defenders. DJ Hill, we definitely shout out to the things that you do in our community, man, because one thing, she's a strong stepper. She's a strong stepper. And speaking of that, you and DJ Hill, y'all got some stuff coming up, right?
Yeah, we got an event coming up in July, on July 21st. It's going to be at 1216. That's 1216 North 9th Avenue. I believe they just opened up last year. Probably not too long after I got back. I just moved back home last year in May. So 1216 with Tommy and let's forget his wife's name.
Miss Tracy.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, real cool people, man. Tommy, I love talking to Tommy, man. We have good talks about time. He's inspired me in more ways than one, as a matter of fact. And so I'm thankful for that connection as well. And that happened through DJ Hill. She said Tommy and his wife and some of her favorite people.
Yeah.
And Sade Carell, she said she really liked too. So we had some other venues in mind, but we ended up nailing it down to 1216, man. And so it's gonna be a real good time, man. The whole point is to celebrate music from back in the day.
Yeah.
Take our minds back in time. We're gonna be listening to music, playing music from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up to the early 2000s. And we're gonna have raffle drawings, for people to win prizes. We're gonna have an open mic in case anybody want to come through and get on the open mic. Man, it's gonna be a real good time. So
this would be every Sunday.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna go weekly, but we're just promoting this one right now. So if we get a good little, turnout, good little crowd, it's something that we want to do regularly. Probably maybe bi-monthly, quarterly, something in that range. Maybe even monthly, man. If it's something that people really want to do, we're just trying to see is it something that the community wants, and I feel like it's something that the community, will want and could benefit from, because like you go out now and you'll hear like the old jams and whatnot, but it don't be as much. And so a lot of times to hear the music that we grew up on, we gotta listen to it like in our own time in the car, in the room, whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to create an environment for people to come out and, for lack of better words, feel 20 again, 25, what it was like growing. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for having that, man. I'm an old school person, so I listen to music from back in the 70s and 80s all the damn time, honestly. So it's gonna be cool to go to a place that offers a different type of music, a diversity, a diverse type of black music.
R&B, hip hop, we might play some blues, Just some stuff back in the day. Don't let me forget the karaoke.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's gonna be the funnest part.
Oh, always.
The karaoke, man, is gonna be a whole lot.
Especially when the drinks kicking in, right, boy?
Yeah.
And y'all know my go-to is "Got My Whiskey." Anytime I do karaoke, that's probably the only damn song I know all the words to. So anytime karaoke, man, I'm definitely gonna get out. Got My Whiskey first, man. So make sure y'all check out starting July 21st. Yeah.
Retro Sundays with a Z. Retro Sundays, man. We got a Facebook event, and we got the event right up as well. The tickets starting off at $10. We got sections and tables and stuff too that come with food, but and 25 and up. Don't let me forget that. It is for for pretty much the season.
Yeah.
The grown people. And I only did that mainly because I just feel like people under 25 may not necessarily be able to vibe. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go to playing Shanti and Ja Rules, the 21-year-old probably, you know what I'm saying, might not feel it. So.
But I honestly, I feel like I think that's one of the most important, most exciting things when it comes to that event is because we need more spaces for a more mature crowd. I think now because we see so much going on, we go into these younger crowds, people want a space where they have a less likely chance of running into some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that a lot of people will definitely appreciate the 25 plus. I mean, because I mean, shit. You think about Sideways over in Mobile, they just changed the age limit for 25 and up for females and 30 and up for men because they had a lot going on up there. Now, I never forget, man. I went to Sideways one time, dog, and one thing I can say, they're gonna pull a crowd. You go on a Sunday, especially. Oh man, Mobile, you gotta check out Sideways Mobile. They got wine. I think Sideways do something almost every night. I know I've been to Wine Down Wednesday a couple times, and I got a partner who got a store 2 doors down, which we're gonna be doing some stuff coming up soon. Yeah, 2 doors down. He do a lot of the overflow parking. He charged to park over in his spot. So make sure y'all check out the Ballet War Marketplace if y'all in Mobile, Alabama, my boy. Wole runs that spot, and we got some good stuff coming over to Wole's spot though in Mobile. Shout out to Mobile, man. I have a good time in Mobile. Some beautiful people in Mobile. I love the little spot Kazula's down over that way, man. But definitely though, Mobile, I can't say from the growth in our city, especially since we got the 850 open back up now. We finna be coming behind y'all now. We come behind y'all. Shout out to Bill Marsh with that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's like just, you know what I mean? It's like, a connection. Like how you said they support each other there. We want to get involved in that chain of, events and information too, you know what I mean? And support what they got going on, ideally return love and support what we got going on. So it'll make it that to me, it'll make the events in both areas that much more exciting because you never know where people gonna be coming from. Come out. So
Definitely, man. Definitely got to bridge the gap. For a long time, we had a lot of beef going back with Mobile and Pensacola, which is crazy because some of y'all cousins. I know me personally, I have cousins over there. I was fortunate enough last November to be able to go to a cookout with some of my people and didn't realize I had, as many times I've been over to Mobile, had so much family over in Mobile, Alabama. And so, man, I feel like we can really do a good thing if we do bridge that gap between the two cities. So hopefully that's coming soon. Maybe we can do something about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got some connects over there. And like I said, we've been talking about doing some good things over there. So hopefully I'll be able to be a vital figure in that.
See it being a festival.
Oh yeah.
Something big. Something too big to fit in the building maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's that many people.
We got the space, man. You got Africa Town, you got downtown Mobile. So we got the space for it, man. Maybe we could just come up with something and do something soon. So we can talk about that. We can talk about that. All right. So as far as your music, man, you got anything coming out soon?
Well, Well, I got some projects I'm working on. I
Okay.
don't have like any official like release dates
Mm.
yet. I'm working on videos and
Mm.
I got some music that I'm working on and whatnot. So yeah, you know, stay on the lookout. I got my YouTube channel. You more than likely can just search my name, Preech, Preech, Godbody. That's my whole stage name. So
Mm.
Preech, like but DA,
Yeah.
Godbody. Pretty much, humbly speaking, you can Google my name, my stage name, Preech to Godbody, and it should, you know, show you like all my social networks, my Spotify link, my Apple Music link, my title link, and so on and so on and whatnot. So, you know, with my music, man, I ain't necessarily trying to make it big. I'm not trying to get no record label. You know, I just want to create a vibe for people. You know what I'm saying? Just like I do with my poetry and enlighten people and inspire people and motivate people the same way, you know, I do with my poetry. So you can pretty much, if you're familiar with my poetry and spoken word, you can expect my music to kind of have like somewhat of the same vibe.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more hardcore being that it's music. I'm trying to, you know, reach somewhat of a different demographic of people. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm looking to inspire and motivate people.
Yeah.
Anything.
So out of everything you got your hands tied into, like, what do you enjoy doing the most?
Bringing people together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I love being on stage, but I love even more putting other people on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love being able to just bring people together, have a good time, man. And I've done events in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and I want to say Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and you know, I've always enjoyed it from versus being on stage or being like the organizer. I wouldn't mind people. You don't even got to know, people don't got to know my name. No, I don't care. It's you know, it's getting those phone calls or those text messages or the compliments afterwards. Hey man, I had a real good time last night. Oh, you know, thank you for, you know, doing it. You know, I'm seeing people who didn't know each other. They come to my events and all of a sudden they're like really good friends. Like that's the kind of stuff that I get more, you know what I'm saying, like excitement out of than anything. That's what I'm more passionate about is bringing people together, man.
Yeah, man. We definitely got to get up and do some stuff together. I know that's one of my goals is bringing people together. I know we got that DJ Hill, and I think it's Sean and Greg got that Cousins thing coming up, which I think is a really good thing. I feel like you go to a lot of these cities and they have all kind of trail rides and tailgates to bring the community back together. I think that's what we need, man. We need some type of big, you know, we see it in the hood all the time with hood reunions. But I think we just need a whole just Pensacola reunion because, you know, Black people have been here for a very long time. And this was a very influential place, especially before the Jim Crow era, for Black businesses and Black people, period. And that's why a lot of people migrated there.
This Bruce Beach was a place Black people
Yeah.
go to. Having to Google, and I realized, wait a minute, how do we not know this?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a family, like, known thing. Like, oh yeah, that's you know, your great unit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but we kind of missing that, and so like I'm glad that, you know, we got that going, and I want us to be able to remember that. Like, hey, you know, I didn't know it. I'm just learning about it. But dang, I'm like, if you read it, it said that and clear. It said, oh, this was a place where African American people would hang out. You know what I mean? Like, did you know about that?
Yeah. I grew up in Tanyard area. My folks migrated from Alabama in the 40s. That's where they lived at, first in Addis Court, and they bought their first two homes in the 10-yard area. Right. So that's where they would go to. Now, one of the people who helped with, which is Mrs. Gilda Marbury, who you will also see her name down there. I used to go, and I think I was like in middle school, I used to go help this lady who we all called our grandma. She used to go help. She was like a home health care aide, and we used to go help her with Miss Gilda. Now, at the time, us being kids, we did not know who Miss Gilda was, but Miss Gilda was a very prestigious Black lady, and she spoke like, you know, she was one of those women on one of them old soap operas back in the day that had a whole bunch of money, and she let you know exactly who she was when you saw her. And I remember her husband had all of these accolades, and had letters from the president and all kind of stuff. So I was like, well, you know, her husband was a big dude. And then when I didn't know, I knew of Bruce Beach, but I didn't know the importance of Bruce Beach at the time. So when I got older and I started going to Bruce Beach now, before they, you know, did the reconstruction, now I remember seeing her name and I was like, damn, I remember going to Miss Gilda's house. Didn't know who she was in the community at the time. And I wish I would have known then, you know what I'm saying? Because I would have sat on her and heard all kind of stories, you know what I'm saying, back then. But, you know, shout out to the people, John Sunday, a lot of the people who helped mold the Black community back in the day. If you didn't know, like the downtown Pensacola area was a big place for all Black people back then, you know, especially the downtown, the Villas area, as we know, the blocks.
So much history down there.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
I don't know the half of it.
Yeah, man. And it's just, I mean, even with our funeral homes being down in that area, you know, we got a lot of history in downtown Pensacola. And it's crazy now, me growing up and even my great grandma's house being down in the area, just me going to see my uncle that lives in the house and looking at how different the area is now next door. You got a 2-story house now, but I can remember the people that lived next door, you know, and it's definitely changing. And some years from now, you would definitely not, I'll say probably within the next 5 years, the next generation will not know that once upon a time you could walk out here and it'd be nothing but Black people. Because when I was in 10 years, when I was a kid, that's all it was down there for us. And 9 out of 10, they were your cousins. We had cousins that stayed right around the corner, you know, or even if y'all weren't cousins, y'all all went to church together, you know. So, you know, it's definitely a difference, a change down there now. But we definitely got to get back to talking about it, because that's a part of our culture. As being residents of this area, we don't talk about it and people are going to forget. And I feel like you ain't there for real until people stop talking about you, you know. So we got to start teaching the people, you know what I'm saying, this shit. We just as special as anybody else, you know. So Pensacola, man, we came a long way. We came a long way. So any other events? Like I know you got the
I got fish fry.
Oh, okay.
This Saturday, doing a fish fry at Creative Style Salon Spa, right there on Palafox. I can't remember the exact address. It's right across the street from Gentleman Led Barbershop, right for Pace and Palafox split. We're gonna be out there from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This Saturday, May 11th. Yeah, basically it's gonna be it's a pre-Mother's Day fish fry sale. So we're gonna be selling plates. You know, we got fish, we got mullet, catfish, shrimp, coleslaw. Probably gonna have to bring out. I think Mom said she want to bring out the mashed potatoes. You know,
okay.
Not the mashed potatoes, the potato salad. To go just in case people don't want coleslaw. So you know, we're just gonna have a good time. I have some good music playing, man. It's gonna be all good, clean, you know, music because it's family oriented event. Yeah. So it'll be a mix. You gonna hear some gospel, you might hear some blues, you know, some R&B, just you know, some good music in general. You know what I mean? Just like I said, like the kind of music that we're looking to play, you know, at Retro Sundays on July 21st. So if you get hungry this Saturday, you remember what I said at Fish Fry Sale at Creative Style Salon Spot right on Palafox from 11 to 3.
Yeah, I think I know. That's right by Brentwood Elementary, right?
You're right across from Brentwood.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Make sure y'all check that out this weekend, man. I'm also a firm believer in putting the Black dollar back in the Black community. So definitely make sure y'all check it out. We know y'all love y'all some fried fish. Like we all do. But we ain't got to go to no damn funeral to get none. Make sure y'all go.
And it's so crazy. We by the water. It's like it's not enough. Like I be wanting seafood and I don't know where to go. Like Cantonese ain't what it used to be, unfortunately. I've heard, no disrespect to them and the people that own it, but I heard the fish and grits over in town and country ain't necessary. But even still, that's just one
spot
place. You know, so on one side of town. I mean, everybody had to go from all, or you know, we got Mr. Wings, but it's still right there. So like, where else can you go?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna go to Red Lobster somewhere, which still another place that ain't really what it used to be. It's like I feel like that's a missing area of development for the city, man.
Yeah, seafood.
Like people come from out of town, they gonna assume, man,
some seafood. Yeah.
And then what we gotta tell them?
That shit. But we got Flavors. I don't know if Flavors is still open. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. But I know we got them. But you would think that we would have more, like you said, because
like a crazy amount of options.
Yeah.
It's like you can really count them on your hand.
How many we got?
Place to go, and they're not open necessarily that late. After about 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're not too much. You know, ain't too much. You're gonna be a get as far as seafood.
We don't really have many places here. And I had a friend that came into town a couple weeks ago from Mississippi, and they was like, "Well, damn, do everything close at 10 o'clock here in Pensacola? Like, what do y'all do?" And I'm like, That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. I mean, one thing I can say, a lot of times if you do want some good seafood, I would probably recommend, if I don't say flavors, you probably have to go to Mobile. I mean, for Mobile, you know, it's a war between who got the best food between New Orleans and Mobile. Both places got good food, but like you said, I didn't think about it till you just said it. We really don't have many options when it comes to seafood here. And you would think so because we're part of the Gulf Coast. Um, I don't know. Maybe somebody could get into that, man. I don't know. That's a good point that you pointed
I
out
might
there.
be the one. I might throw y'all off one day, give y'all a
Come
whole
on.
address and sweet them with
Yeah.
seafood.
Yeah,
Man.
but we need the options. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we got a growing city. It's money here. You know what I'm saying? And uh I remember when I was talking about something that I wanted to do, a project I wanted to work on, and my uncle, he lives in California. He was like, well, why leave and go somewhere else and do it when if your city ain't got it, you can just bring it to your city.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you know, I had that lead mindset. Like I said,
Mhm.
I'm born and raised in Pensacola, graduated from Pine Forest High School 2009. I left in 2015. I was in Atlanta for 3 years and then came back here for a year, left and went to Houston. And I've never felt more at home than at home. You know what I mean? Like those places, they have a lot going on, but it didn't really feel like home. And I would love to be able to feel at home and still, you know, have, you know, a lot going on. Like the way DJ Hill and Shawty hooked up with me and got with me on this event, I couldn't get that. When I was in Atlanta, I was doing a lot of stuff on my own. Anybody who was thinking of me was because of what they could get out of me or what, you know, how they could benefit from it. And so, like, yeah, but let me not forget to mention my group. I feel like that's something important too because we do have a lot going on, a lot of people doing things, but it's like, where can you go to see all that? Like, where is it? What it centralize that? And so I created a Facebook group, Gulf Coast Events and Entertainment, Gulf Coast Urban Events and Entertainment. You can just search that on Facebook, Gulf Coast Urban Events and Entertainment. And you know, it's a growing group right now. We got about almost 250 members and whatnot. Different people going on, and I'm looking to cover or get people in there to talk about events that they're doing in Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. You know what I'm saying? So like we had, like, you can go and you want to figure out what's going on that weekend. Like I see people post, hey, what's the move? What's going on? What's, you know, we got the group, Gulf Coast Urban Events and Entertainment. And it's, like I said, it's not just Pensacola. It's, you know, places surrounding too.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely got to link up with that group, man, because me, I like to travel. I get on the road in a minute, and like I said, I got a couple of events coming up soon, in Mobile, Alabama. But I like it, and just that page alone is helping bridge that gap between all of us here. Because one point in time, it was all the same. It was all the same territory. So we definitely need to get into that, man. Because I feel we can all learn. As far as like you moving away, I feel like sometimes it's best to move away. Not saying you don't have to come back, but in order to build your creativity. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I noticed about here, it's only so far you're gonna get. You're gonna have to go somewhere and see some different things, meet some different people, expand your resources, and be a resource to somebody else. You know, so I think that the move is sometimes necessary just for your own growth. Because like you said, you came back home and, you know, I'm pretty sure your mindset has been totally different with the things that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? From just stuff that you've seen elsewhere, you know, so, I mean, people like that, we definitely need that in our city because we have the room to grow now. We got so many different damn event spaces now that we could do it. We can, you know what I'm saying, link with each other. Because every time I Tony tell you, I say, oh, well, we doing this event? All right, well, we need to hit up this club to see can the after party be there. You know what I'm saying? So we can all make money. One thing I have ran to with working with people here is the gatekeeping. That's one thing I don't, because I'm not a gatekeeper. I feel like it ain't nothing you can do to really block what I got going on. You know.
that's like that. In that group, I'm promoting what other people got going on.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's taken away from me.
Yeah.
And what I had going on, you know what I mean. And I feel like that's one way I would stand out is because, like, I'm not just promoting what I'm doing. I'm promoting what everybody has going on from here all the way to Texas. Like if they got something going on, like something, you know, that we want to get involved, people want to get involved in, I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm putting it out there like, hey, I might not even be able to make it.
Yeah.
I might have something going on totally different that day.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I believe in, like they say, treat people how you want to be treated. I believe in supporting people how you want to be supported.
Yeah.
Same way with music, man. I support local artists. I got a whole playlist on Spotify and on Tidal. DJ Hill actually, she's following the playlist that we have on Tidal. It's called the DA Panhandle Playlist. I think it's called the Panhandle Playlist. And man, Scott, we got local artists, you know, from Alabama and Florida and whatnot. And so that's another thing. We got to do more supporting each other, not doing so much competing with each other, and getting behind the people that are doing things instead of just playing in the background. Like, we gotta. If you see somebody doing something positive, man, get behind it and support it. You know what I mean? Somebody starts a nonprofit organization for young boys or young girls or battered women or whatever the case may be. Men fresh out of prison, whatever the case may be. You see, like we gotta get behind and support that in whatever way, man. And the smallest donation can go a long way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm big on supporting what other people got going on, and that's just what we need more of. Like, what we really feel like a family. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And speaking of, you know, people who got out of prison, I know a lot of times, kind of like what we touched on earlier, when people go through legal situations, they kind of come home and feel like they don't really know which way to go sometimes. Especially if you're local, and you don't really even have to be local. Check out the ACTS program we have here with Pastor Rankins. Definitely, the man told a lot of resources if you're trying to get back on your feet after being incarcerated or anything like that, man. So definitely check that out, because I know for a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters, because you got a lot of Black females who go through the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And they looking for a way out to get back into the system. And a lot of times, you know, they take every damn thing from you. When you do go, you know, your rights, a lot of your rights are stripped from you. But I know with everything that's going on in the economy, a lot of people's issue is making money.
Yeah, and that's definitely understandable. Yeah. I completely understand that, man. But we bring our money together, man. It's just that much, but like you said earlier about circulating the dollar back into the Black community. Like people spend with me, and I go turn around and I spend with Mr. Williams. I spend with 1216. Or I go, you know, the 850s, enjoy myself, whatever the case may be. Like it's circulating back. And we, unfortunately, the only ethnic group of people who don't really have that mindset. You know what I mean? Like. Just is like we got this. Oh, that's racism. Yeah, the Chinese spending money with the Chinese. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, the Mexicans spend money with the Mexicans. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they want to support the people, and we gotta have more of that mindset of supporting each other, not this whole crabs in the barrel mentality of I want to outdo this person. I'll do this person because it don't do us good at all. No,
you 100% correct on that, man. And it's so crazy that we have that mindset of thinking everything racist, and we are the most racially profiled individuals on earth, no matter what. And it's just ain't no American problem. This is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy when we say, oh, well, this is racist. Then I'm like, you worry about the wrong damn things. You know what I'm saying? I was watching a doctor talk about that on a video. He was talking about how all of these other ethnicities, how they hang on to wealth is because they hire their own people. They work with their own people. We the only ones who have a problem with that. And we have a problem with it because we scared of how it's going to look. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about your intentions, not about how it's going to look. You know, let whoever feel however they're going to feel about it, but it's all about your intentions. So, you know, this definitely, if you have positive intentions, it's going to work out for you at the end of the day, regardless.
Speaking of which, I got it on my mind to let people know is, listen, man, if you got an idea, if you got something that you want to do, you feel a little bit inspired, you want to start a nonprofit organization, you want to start a school, you know what I mean? Like, that's another thing I got to see in the bigger cities. Like, these people, they got independent school. Their children, like, they pulling them out of public school. They put them in, you know, of course it costs money and whatnot. They take money, but they got, you know, the independent schools. And in these schools, they're not teaching them about Columbus. You know, they're not teaching them about George Washington. It's good to know that stuff, but like they're getting into the history of things and that's another thing. So these youth, they're growing up already with an empowered mindset. because they're learning about people that they're not learning about in school. So anyway, all that to say, man, if you got something that you feel like you want to bring to the community that will be a positive influence on the community, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And if you feel like want to support, send it to me.
Yeah.
Find me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Jordan, Jordan Nichols, Nichols, Jordan Nichols. Find me on there, man. Say, hey, I got this idea. I'll do something as simple as share it. You know what I mean? Even if I don't have the money to put into it, I'm going to share it with people who might. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just want to send that word out there.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Definitely don't feel free to reach out. If you know me, you know, man, I share people's events all the time. I don't even have to know you. But if I respect your mission, I'm definitely going to share it. Because I feel like it's definitely necessary, man. I don't have to know you. I like what you're doing. It is what it is. Hell, I don't even have to like you, because we all ain't gonna like each other. But if I respect what you're doing, I definitely gonna support you some type of way or another. And especially if I know that it could be beneficial to our community, I'm here for it. I always think about the civil rights movement, and I ask people all the time, like, do you really think that everybody in the civil rights movement liked each other? And if you see now, we see in the movies, you can see a lot of them didn't like each other. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they understood the mission, and we got to work with each other to get to the next point. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we can have more safe spaces so we could get, especially when it comes to our young men. Like you said, man, when they're growing up in a generation now where they're kind of seeing things a little different because the knowledge that they're getting are a little different. And they realize that a lot of things that even we were taught weren't necessarily true. But the energy that they have that they bring it against each other, we need them to shift it elsewhere. You can keep that energy, but make it something more positive. You know, we definitely have to let them know, like, you don't have to, because a lot of times in our community, we feel like either you got to play sports to be a rapper to be successful. But man, we need more people in the police force. You know, we can't keep complaining about them if we ain't got them there. You know what I'm saying? So we need more people in the police force. We need more people that are city councilmen, city councilwomen. We need more people running for these political seats who understand us and understand our communities, that are from our communities, to understand our communities, and that's going to actually do the work. Yeah, we need them. School teachers. We need more people that understand the students, you know, because a lot of times they don't, and we try to figure out, well, why this a D school, why this a F school. And sometimes not because the children lack knowledge, but sometimes it's just because people don't understand how to work with them. And a lot of children are going through some stuff at home that they can't talk about, and they might act out in school. And we need people who know how to deal with them. Because I know for me, my most memorable teachers were the older Black women who act like your mama and your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the ones you're going to remember. Those are the ones who you really going to respect because you feel like y'all can relate to each other. You know, so we definitely need that, man. We got to definitely open up our pathways in our community so our kids won't think it's only two ways out. You know what I'm saying? And representing hoods that you don't even own shit in.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot. I drive around and see all this property, man. I be wishing, but I just.
Oh, me too, dog.
I want $1 million fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that because I'm thinking about what it would be for the community. I'm thinking about myself, and it's like, I would hate for the wrong person to get their hands on it and it'd be just another something that we really don't need or we already have. You know what I mean? We don't need another liquor store.
We don't.
Fine. We good on that. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to the barbershops and salons, but we don't necessarily need another barbershop or salon. Like, we need like some diversity, some different people to get involved in different things. So that's why I said what I said. If you got anything on your mind to do it. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be, you're gonna feel alone. But if it's something positive, man, the Creator, God, Jah, whatever name you recognize the Most High as, Allah, just whatever, that spirit is gonna be with you.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you for coming to the G Spot, man. We definitely gonna have you on this thing again. We're gonna do some work together soon, man. If y'all have it, man, you make sure y'all download and y'all follow the G Spot podcast. Y'all download the RWR Live app. And like I said before, man, the links to his book, we definitely gonna be posting that because I feel like a lot of us, we need that coaching, we need the knowledge to make it to the next level. Because a lot of us, we have the ideas. Let me tell you this too, kind of piggyback off what he said. If you already had the idea, God has already placed the tools that you need to make it manifest. You just got to start talking to the right people, work on your mindset. Sometimes when you go up, you're going to have to leave some people behind. That don't mean that they bad people. That don't mean you bad people, but they don't. Sometimes people aren't beneficial for our come up. We be holding on to a lot of baggage, and sometimes it ain't just about what we're going through personally, but it's the people that's around us that's holding us back. So, and if you want better for yourself, man, you have to just sometimes clean up your whole look. That's something that I even had to learn for myself. So, man, make sure y'all definitely though, y'all keep that in mind, and definitely check out his link for his book on my page and for his music, because the man do some of everything. The man said do some of everything, man. Tell them where they can follow you at again.
Okay, like I said, the easiest way to be to Google Preech, PreechDaGodbody. So Preech the Godbody. You can type it in, it's all in one word, or you can split it up, Preech the Godbody. You Google that, man. I've done it myself. I can see where it's going to show you my Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everything. To connect with me personally, like I said, you could go to Facebook and type in Jordan Nichols, which is my government name. Jordan spelled like the river. Nichols spelled Nichols. And I consider myself to be a real, down to earth, personable type person. So definitely, y'all reach out, man, and connect with me. If you got something that I can support, let me know. I appreciate it if you support anything that I got going on. Because like I said, I'm just looking to bring positivity back into the community. So Preech the Godbody is how you'll find me, or Jordan Nichols.
All right, man. I appreciate that. I can't wait to check out this Retro Sundays. Anytime I see DJ Hell on Fly too, I definitely be hyped about the event, man. That's our favorite DJ, me and Bobby Soto. Again, man, make sure y'all have a good night tonight and be safe. Pray for others as you pray for yourself, man. And check us out again next week.